Okay, I still have a horizontal stabilizing problem. And I got this fold over, whatever it is happening up here on the right hand side, if I can get the reflection out. Okay, I did get the focus functioning. Before it worked very little. It would not. I'm trying to block the light out here. It would not come down. It'd stay mostly at its highest point, and I didn't have any focus at all. Very poor focus. So I got that working. I still have issues with this, so I'll shut it off for a moment here. So my problem was I chose not to measure this 3.3 meg. This is pretty much in range. I think that's 470K. This measured about 1.5 meg. So 470K approximately. It's okay. This measured 9 meg. Orange, green. So I have these 3 megs that I used to have for working with Fender silver face amps when I used to build them. It actually takes a 3.3 meg with a 10 picofards across it where the reverb was built around it. But I couldn't get 3.3s at the time, so I ordered 3 megs. This one is quite a bit advanced gain value. This one gain value somewhat. Both of these are for negative 9 volt power supplies. These 3 are for positive 9 volts. They seem to be okay. They're in cahoots with the voltage regulator. This one's gain value and this one gain more value. So the worst of the pack here is this one and that one. So the blue. So I'm just going to leave this. I'm going to solder this better, shorten the lead somewhat and leave it so it's obviously there. I did check it, ran it for a while and checked the temperature. It was cold, so I don't know why it needed big 1 water. These things, I checked them. I think they're pretty stable to stay here. I soldered them well on the board, so I think I'm just going to leave them that way for now, because I have no reason to lift this board, I don't think. I wanted to replace this. On this board here, I have to get a transistor right here and remove. I was going to reach inside and just try to crush it, but I decided, well, I'll take the board off. I had this board off before and replaced a bunch of these resistors. You can see that 100K, this one's replaced, that one's not. These 2 are replaced, but the transistor's right down there. So the 3 meg is, where is it? 3.3 meg, 1 watt is right there. The bottom side of the focus. So it obviously gave me poor focusing, and I had no brightness when I turned it down. It virtually stayed pretty much at the highest intensity. So I still think the tube is a little weak. I'm going to test it again, read my CRT tester stuff over it a little bit, and I don't know which one is bad here. One of the negative. Here's negative, positive. I don't know which one it was. But this is the transistor I have to replace. It's the last one on this stack. I had signal here and no signal here. So I hooked up to here. I had signal from my signal generator coming through the vertical system after I readjusted this 100 volts. See, I had no signal here and here also when I was working with stuff, so no, it was this transistor. So I thought this transistor was bad, but then I thought about it that this was sitting high, so I readjusted this 100 volts adjust and got my vertical signal working. Then I put the scope here and I had my signal there, so that was in cahoots with this being out of alignment. This here, I don't know where it's sitting right now. I'm going to go through the vertical alignment setting up again, but I have this thing. Right now I have this short circuit from here to here, and this shorted circuit from this one to that one. So the only thing I have that it's adjustable right now is the fine, which would be the normal vert positioning. It doesn't do that much. Right now, like I say, this is shorted out, and I have this turned all the way counterclockwise, so I'm assuming that's a 0 ohms. So I'm still having vertical positioning issues, and I swear I'm going to get rid of those wires. I'm going to do a little more working with this. I might hook that up to my breadboard style things and see if I can work around with some potentiometers and get a couple fixed values to put in there. But like I say, if I replace that one in that stack, it should stabilize my vertical. And for the heck of it, I'm gonna try square wave here. So it's hard to block the sunlight here. So I have to get on the vertical board and adjust those two. Where are they? Where are they? I have to shut this off. Oh, right here. To adjust the square wave. That's ground. So this must be, it's a 10K, 90K, 100K. So this must be X1. So I'd adjust that, and then this no adjustment. Another adjustment, I guess, on X, whatever it is, 100. So I guess I just square wave on here and that one, I guess. Oh, here they are. That one and that one. To adjust the square wave here, I guess. I don't know which one's which. I'm not sure if I just twisted this into a knot. Let's do it this way. I know you're not supposed to. Okay, that's doing absolutely nothing. I better not do that. Well, it's just input. You couldn't. Well, I don't know if this is even. Yeah, deal with it later. But anyways, those are that one and that one. So I will put 3 legs sticking out so I can try different NPN transistors like I did. I can't touch that. That collector's like yellow jacket, like touching a yellow jacket. The collectors, you can touch the base or the emitter, but the collector gets kind of a little on the bitchy side. I shut it off because this tab is the same as the collector, I believe. This one's warmer. I'd like to almost heatsink. This one gets really hot, so I am going to move that to there because I have insulators and heatsink compounds. So now that I have this thing maybe even usable condition, if I replace that and replace that and that one, and this does not get warm. So this must have just gained value just by, oh, it looks brand new, you know, it looks so in such good shape you wouldn't think the 3.3 meg would go up to 9 megs, but it did. I measured it. My 3 meg went here and the 3.3 meg went up here, so on the 1 meg scale. So I got a new roll of solder. I've been going through solder like crazy, and here's my tip I use. I'll unplug my iron here. This here sticks. I have to pop it out. Now it's stuck. So I just used number 14 wire. I've used it since the 70s when I was a kid. You can make your tips any length you want, and all you have to do is score it with a file. I prefer to solder on my lower position, as you can see there. Building amplifiers, that was the handy way, and then I could hold this, flip it around, and I bought some of those knuckles at a estate sale, and boy, that one thing sucked so bad I cut it right off. Went back to the 14 gauge wire. This 14 gauge wire, it works way quicker. Then I just roll my solder up like this. I see other people use their full spool of wire. I don't like it. I just like having it like this, and I can lay it where I want it, and I want it here. I better unplug it. If I want it there, then it's there, handy for me. If I want to lay it up here, it's right there, handy for me. It's so more convenient than having that spool. The only thing is when it sucks when it gets down to this size. And I use old resistors like this out of stereos for cleaning holes on circuit boards. I go from this side, heat it up on the other side obviously when the circuit board's out, and then I spin it really fast and it clears the holes really, really good. Dirtier the better. You can do it with clean ones, but you got to really move it because it will stick. I've done that all my life. These here resistors, I think they're 390 ohm. These things are so far out of range, it's crazy. I couldn't believe it. So, dilemma. When they look good, and they could just definitely fool you. So I'd like to get these soldered properly too. But I was thinking of equalization resistors across them. But if this has a 3.3 meg and a 1 meg, it's like the trail from ground 3.3 meg, 1 meg, 470k, 250k to the high voltage B plus. I would say if I was going to put equalizers across these capacitors, I would need like 10 meg or better equalization if I have two stacks 600 volt capacitors like I did in here. I have orange drop 0.1s in there. It's supposed to be a total of 0.1s, but I don't have them. I have orange drop 0.1s I'm using guitar amps, and I don't have no equalization. If you look in Fender amps and stuff, they use like 100 microfarad capacitors with a 220k 1 watt resistor for equalization, but that's it on this one. So today's April 13th of 2021. Orange Beginner's Corner. I think I'll finally get this thing done. Maybe usable. But I still have a issue up here. I don't like square wave. Oh, this is horizontal positioning. But it has that, oh boy, it's hard to stabilize. Now where do I end up here? What the heck is going on? There we go. It has this fold over, whatever that is. Too much crap in my way here. Jeez. This side's okay. Let me adjust my gain. Maybe if I back on the gain a little bit. I backed off on the horizontal gain. And I have this advanced all the way too. This thing here. Where the hell's my finger? Right here. That's sync. I'm having a heck of a time here trying to keep the sunlight blocked. Oops. This horizontal frequency is really touchy. Looks pretty decent. If I advance the vertical, it looks like it distorts. So I have to really pull back on the vertical gain. And when I do that, it also shows a really distortion on there too. So So that's the vertical hooked up to the vertical input there, the sine wave. I don't know how much amplitude I have coming out of it. I don't know. Not a clue. So if I get this replaced, that should stabilize my synchronizing issue, I believe. Make sure I'm not on exit sync. I'm on 1 kilohertz. Where's it? Right here. Exit sync is way up here. I'm on 1 kilohertz for my sine wave. So replace that. Try to order a few of these. Maybe all of those. I think I'd like to go to a 5-watt wire wound and stagger them. Have one close down and staggered. Same here, 5-watt wire wound resistors, I think. Try to get a 3.3 meg at 1 watt, which probably be impossible. I have some up in the meg ohms here. Here's a 4.7 meg, but that's gain value. I have no, mostly 1 megs. One 1.2 meg, here's a 3.3 meg. 1 meg, 1 meg, 2.2 meg, 6.8 meg. I had a lot of these since the 1970s, some of this stuff. Not these. These came out of generators like this. I bought a handful of generators I was working with. These two. Some of these are way back. These are current, way back. Here's the thing I had to replace out of my Zenith TV. Make a substitute deal. So these are low ohms. So these are just to play around with. Anyways, Orange Beginner's Corner, signing out. These are all bad waxies. They're just for test purposes. Signing out. Try it again.